I've edited dozens of videos shot on smartphone, from weddings, vacations and family events. And here's my top 10 pieces of advice to take better footage on your smartphone to make a great video. Let's go! What's good? My name is Oleg Nikitin and you're watching No Limits On and Tech Kitchen, the channel about the privilege of being a freelancer, tips and pieces of advice about motivation, personal growth, tech aspects and many more. Welcome to the channel. So tip number 1, we dive into settings and then we scroll down to camera. Here it is, and then we choose our record video at 60 FPS. It is very important because we can slow down the video to 50% and get more room in post. Tip number 2, choose the best resolution possible. So here it is, 4K 60 FPS. I know that it fills the memory very fast, but it is crucial to shoot in the best resolution possible. Tip number 3, shoot horizontally, because it's much easier to watch on big screens like TVs or big computers. If you like stories, you can shoot vertically, but be ready that the editor will be swearing a lot. Tip number 4, hold your phone correctly. So we have to take it like this and put your elbows to the body, so it will be the best way possible, the most stable way. And now you can see that I'm shooting it like this and it's almost not shaking. And if I take the phone with one hand, you see the shakiness is really there. So we take it like this, and if we want to pan, for example, we pan with our body, not with our hands. So here is the way to pan, and if I pan with the one hand, simply you see that it's shaking much. So hold it in a proper way. Also, you can use a tripod or a special gimbal which will stabilize your footage even more. All the links will be in the description below, so check them out. Tip number 5. I've edited tons of amateur video and all the time I see that people are going with their phones like this, I'm shooting this, that, this. That's a bad way to shoot. First of all, take your phone and shoot 2 seconds of video without moving. Keep it steady. This will help the editor or yourself if you edit the videos by yourself. So in every shot you will have at least 2 seconds of good footage. After holding it for 2 seconds, you can pan, but slowly, or tilt, but also slowly. Never do it like this. It doesn't work. Tip number 6. Fix the exposure. The amateur look is often associated with constantly changing exposure. So to do this, we simply tap and hold, and we see here auto exposure lock and autofocus lock. And then we can drag or pull the sun to change the exposure. And then we can pan or tilt, and exposure does not change. And one more important aspect is to expose properly, especially skin. So if we overexpose it, you see we lose detail. So keep that in mind and expose correctly. Tip number 7, find interesting angles. Here is a video completely shot on this phone, and we put it in different places to get some different interesting angles. For instance, put it extremely low or really high, or shoot some macro shots. Or you can find some interesting reflections, for example on your vacation, somewhere in the mirrors or even in the water. Or you can use it like a dive-in camera, like a GoPro, if your phone has water resistance. But first of all, check this out before you do this. And you can shoot something underwater, for instance. Tip number 8. Play around with slow motion and time lapses. In terms of slow motion, our phones can shoot at 120 or 240 frames per second, so we can get some real slow images. And time-lapse is also a really great tool, but you can hold, but not hold, actually you have to put your phone to some steady surface so it doesn't move at all. Otherwise the footage will be really shaky and not pleasing. So here we can see the slow motion tab, and here is the time-lapse tab. So you simply swipe left and get those modes on. Tip number 9. Think over some interesting transitions. For instance, a few years ago there was a popular transition when people did like this. And the next frame started also from this, and they simply teleported themselves to another location. Or you can play around with some swipe transitions, so you swipe your phone and you make a cut when it's all blurry, and then you make another shot which is from the other side and gets to the place, and also a cut right there. And you get a swipe transition. Here is an example. Or you can even make a transition through water. For instance, you get a GoPro or a waterproof phone and you put it in the water. For instance, you jump into the pool or you take a shower and you can make a transition while water is covering the lens. Tip number 10. Story is king. Think over what you can tell to your viewers or to yourself, because probably you'll be watching this video in a few years later. While talking to the camera, please use your headphones because the microphone will be much closer to your mouth and you can see the difference in audio quality.
1, 2, mic check, mic check.
1, 2, mic check, mic check. Or you can probably use a different tool, for example, Rode Smart Lav, a lavalier mic, and get much better audio quality. As we all know, audio is very important and it has to be recorded in the best way possible. So here's my top 10 tips to take better footage and make a greater video overall. Enjoy shooting videos, make your memories interesting, bright and colorful. So we're moving on to our quote of the episode. Memories are magic clothes that are never worn out. Robert Stevenson. And question of the episode. Have you ever tried to edit a video from your vacations? Please share the links down in the description below. We'll check them out and learn from each other. This was Oleg Nikitin, Tech Kitchen and No Limits On. Thank you guys for watching. See you.